Carrie Wilbanks, and today on Out West, we're in the Black Hawk and Central City area. We're going to kick this segment off at the Ameristar Resort, Spa, and Casino. Let's go head inside to find out everything this place offers. Thank you so much for joining me, Brett.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you, Carrie.
Of course, this is such a beautiful hotel. As soon as I walked in, I love the Colorado elements that you feel. When I think of casinos, oftentimes, of course, Vegas first comes to mind, but here this has a completely different atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're definitely a little more Colorado themed, but I think we feel we have more of a Vegas type of feel than a lot of the other casinos around too.
Absolutely. There's a lot of energy and excitement at the same time.
Yeah, and a lot of more, some of the design is a lot more wood and cabin feel to some of our outlets.
Absolutely. I have to say I love the fireplaces around too. And this is something that you can definitely spend. As I'm just getting here to this area, I love the idea of all of the things I can do on site here, from a spa, and tell me about some of the other amenities that you guys have.
We have a rooftop pool that includes an indoor and outdoor hot tub. Of course, there's a fitness facility as well. We have 5 dining outlets, including a Starbucks, a high-end steakhouse, of course a buffet, and a deli.
There's so much to do, and of course the spa. Any type of spa, I'm always intrigued. What makes the spa here different than some of the others you'll find in the state?
The spa is definitely, anytime we go up there, it's very soothing, relaxing. It's the quietest place in the casino, definitely. It's a good place to get away and just relax and sort of rejuvenate.
And what kind of treatments do you guys do there?
We do everything from facials, to manicures, pedicures, peels, hair removal, all that good stuff, and of course massages.
I would like to sign up for all of it. That sounds fantastic. And maybe I can win some money afterwards at the casino. Tell me some about what you'll find in the casino.
Casino, we have over 1,200 slots, ranging from video poker to your old-fashioned regular reels and video reels. We have 22 live poker tables, largest poker room in Colorado. We have 40 live table games as well, which gives you, of course, your blackjack, your roulette, craps, and then variations of those games as well.
And the location of Ameristar is fantastic, especially when it comes to being in the center of the city, but also really close to Denver with very easy access.
Yeah, I think most people don't realize just how close we are. We're an easy 20 minutes from Golden, and not far from downtown Denver, less than an hour from downtown Denver. And of course, nestled in this beautiful setting with the mountains, and then plenty to do up here as well outside of the casino.
Come evening, it's always nice to relax in a really, really well put together hotel room, and I know you guys are experts at that.
Yeah, we have 536 beautiful hotel rooms, including 64 suites. We have several different types of suites, but even our deluxe room, our standard rooms are beautiful. Really rival a lot of the rooms you'd see in Vegas.
What a great location for the pool too. That's awesome that it's on the rooftop, because I'm sure the views up there are exceptional.
Yeah, beautiful indoor pool with a wide open arching ceiling. Indoor hot tub as well, and then an outdoor hot tub. You can sit out there and watch the snowfall or catch a beautiful view out into the valley.
In all seasons, that sounds like such a great place. Of course, the pool being covered, I know that I can come here in any season and be guaranteed to get inside. And I love that the hot tub is still outdoors, because I imagine stargazing. And of course, especially in the winter, there's nothing more fun than getting in a hot tub, and then there's always that rush getting out into the cold and warming up inside this beautiful hotel.
Yeah, and then there's a couple fire pits out there as well, out in the outdoor hot tub area as well. It's a beautiful place to hang out, whether it's hot or cold out.
I love it. This is definitely a place that you can come when you're looking for day trips, or especially a weekend getaway if you want to stay in one of these really well-appointed rooms that we've just heard about. Of course, then you know that we have the spa, the fitness center, and the pool, and of course you can try your chance in the casino to hopefully win big. I'm sure the odds work well with you here, right?
Yeah, of course, yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been such an incredible experience already here in the Black Hawk and Central City area, but do not go anywhere, because we have a few more places to take you, including one of the most historic places in town, the Central City Opera House. I'm here with Pat, who's the general director. Tell us some about the history of the opera here.
There were lots of opera houses built all over the West. Every little town you go into has an opera house. Most of them were built by the richest person in town. They gave the money so it would be civilized, the town would be civilized. But in this particular instance, the reason the opera house is here is because of the miners that were brought in from Wales and Cornwall to do the gold mining here. And they wanted a place to sing.
So the mining history here obviously runs really deep.
Huge. It's why everything's here.
So now today, what can people who come visit expect if they're going to catch a show?
Well, we're a summer festival. The house actually originally was coal heated. We haven't transitioned yet. So the house is not heated. So we are a summer festival and always have been since 1932. So people come up here in the summer. They travel from all over the country and literally all over the world.
There's a lot of other historic buildings that you guys own in addition to the Opera House. Tell me about some of those.
We're the largest holder of historic properties in the state of Colorado. So we own 30 plus properties up here in Central City. Some of them, like the Opera House, we use for performance. Some of them we use for entertaining, which is the Teller House here. But we own an awful lot of residences as well because we house over 100 people in the summer in order to do the festival. So,
and this is performers, but also staff that are helping.
Designers, conductors.
I would love to talk to one of these performers that you have talked about now, and I understand that you have one lined up for us to interview.
We do. I think there's a tenor skulking about here.
Perfect.
By the name of Joe Gaines. So we'll
right,
bring him
Joe.
up.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much for all of the
Absolutely,
information.
thank you.
Over the course of Out West, we have interviewed so many interesting people, but I have to say, I've never interviewed an opera singer before, and I cannot wait. Joe should be here any minute. Come on, Joe, let's go.
Carry, 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 carry. Hi, Carrie.
Oh my gosh, that was the best intro I've ever seen for any show.
That's how we roll.
That's what we should know with you being a professional opera singer though, right?
That's right.
That sounds so awesome. I would love to hear some about your history. This is such a fascinating career.
It's crazy, and it takes us all over the world. I was an apprentice. I was very fortunate to be an apprentice artist here singing with the opera company for a summer. And that really was my introduction not only to Colorado, but to the West in general, because I'm from Houston. We don't really have mountains or anything there. But it was so beautiful here, and I've come back to sing in Colorado several times over the last few years. I'm also starting to sing a fair amount in Utah and I just did a show in Vegas, actually. So about half of my work is out here, out west, and the other half is on the East Coast, like Pittsburgh, Philly, New York.
So you have a ton of experience and you've done so many shows. What makes performing here in Central City and Black Hawk area more unique than any other places that you have?
This is one of the most unique opera houses in the United States. It's also, I think, the 5th oldest opera company in the country. Yeah, it goes back 70, 80 plus years, something like that. And so we have this amazing jewel box theater that is in such spectacular shape. It's so much fun to sing in. It's also incredibly intimate because a lot of the opera companies that I sing with all over the country and all over the world are really big houses. Like I've worked at the Metropolitan Opera once. That's a 4,000 seat house. This house seats only about 550 people or something like that. And so it's so intimate because I'm right there, right with the audience, and they're right with me. And it's a very athletic kind of singing. We use our whole body to make that sound. And it's something that we train for years and years and years and years. And ironically, it's something that you usually get a lot better with as you age. So, you know, even though we might start working when we're in our 20s, we might actually, like especially male singers, we don't usually hit our peak until we're in our 40s.
Oh, wow. So you have a long career ahead of you.
I hope so.
That seemed like a peak performance to me, and I would love it if you would give our audience and myself something a little bit more of a song.
Very
if you're
happy
comfortable
to.
with
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Awesome. Let's hear it.
All right. Oh, Colombina il tenero fieto arlecchin è a te vicin. Dite chiamando e sospirando aspetta il poverin. La tua faceta mostrami ch'io baciar senza tarar. La tua boccuccia amor mi cruccia e mi sa tormentar. Ah, e mi sta tormentar.
That would woo any girl. Are you kidding me? That was amazing.
Thanks.
I love that too because I can just imagine being inside of the opera house. You would feel so connected. Granted, I had a very special experience because I got to make eye contact with you, but I can imagine how captivated that entire theater is. That was so wonderful. Definitely one of my highlights. I've never been sung to or wooed like that. Thank you so much, Joe, and I hope to catch you in a performance
My
soon.
pleasure. Thank you.
I cannot wait to check out a performance sometime at the Central City Opera House, but we have one more place we want to show you. Don't go anywhere because up next we're headed to the Heidi Gold Mine. We're here with Chris. I would love to start with the history of Heidi Mine.
Well, thanks, Carrie. Welcome here. We began in 1896. Pretty short mining history, all things considered. The majority of the mining was done around the corner at the Pittsburgh and the Nottoway. We've been running tours since then and really enjoying ourselves doing it.
Can you tell me about the significance of the name Heidi?
Significance of the name Heidi. I mean, there's a lot of lore that goes back, and of course, going back 100 years, the exact truths are hard to say. However, there was a very famous dancer down in the halls of Central City named Heidi, and we've always figured that the Heidi came from her, sort of an honorific to someone keeping the flame lit for these poor miners.
That's really cool. It's really neat too. Once you arrive, you feel like you're in another era. There's all of these old time buildings around. What else can you do here, of course, besides the crown jewel of what you guys offer, the mining tours?
We have the mining tour, and of course, like you said, getting to go underground and pull a sample off of that gold vein is pretty special. A lot of people really enjoy that. We do gold panning, but we move a little beyond that. We've got a lot of the history. We're right at the richest square mile on Earth.
Very neat, and there's so much to do in this area, and I love the accessibility of it too. This is so easy to get to from Denver.
We're right off the Casino Parkway, roughly a half a mile from it, 45 minutes from Denver, a little bit longer if you follow the route of the original miners, but of course it gets you off of I-70. You can go right up Clear Creek, just like the original prospectors did as they panned the creek, getting more and more gold with each pan full until they got to the mother lode country, that richest square mile.
When do you guys offer tours?
We do tours through the summer. In the winter, we'll shut out due to snow. We don't try to keep the area going when it gets that cold. There's skiing and other things to do in Colorado, of course. But during the high summers and even into fall, as the leaves change color in the aspen, it's a beautiful place to be. We get good weather as we're low enough into the mountains that we don't snow out too early. And we'll basically run anywhere from May to October, depending on the weather. Colorado's unpredictable.
All right, well, this is a beautiful day for a mine tour. I would love to go get suited up.
Great, let's go.
All right. Now it's time for the hands-on part of the tour. Chris, what do you have in store?
Well, we're going to start off mining the same way the original miners did. Of course, you come here in 1860, there's no electrics, there's no diesel, there's no pneumatic or hydraulic. You're still limited to what you can do with your own right arm. So this is an antique drill steel. The idea was pretty simple. You'd come up to the face, which is what you'd call the wall in mining that you're working on, bring the drill steel to it, and hit it. And then you turn it. It's your original impact rotary hammer drill, still used in industry today. Of course, more modern, they look like this. This is a jack leg. Essentially does the same thing, but it's powered by air. It goes a lot faster.
With hand steeling, this seems like a tedious process. How long would it take generally for a miner to be able to submerge this?
Believe it or not, a good miner could do this in roughly 45 minutes.
That is impressive.
It really is, considering you're going right into solid stone there.
For people who are on a tour, is this something that they can come and try out?
They will. They don't get to use our antique one, of course. They're getting hard to find.
Okay. Got to keep those in pristine condition.
Come in with one a little bit closer to this, but when we're actually on the gold vein itself, we've got ones with a safety guard as well. Now, if you and I want to give it a shot, just like the old timers did, you would be double jacking. Single jack, double jack. You would get the hat hammer.
Okay.
The idea is pretty simply for me to hold this here and you to hit it.
Do you trust me?
I don't. We're not going to do that.
As I noticed when we were coming in, I saw some Tommy knockers hidden in some crevices here in the mine.
We keep a few Tommy knockers around. Every good mine does. They're sort of the good luck symbols of a mine. Now, most of these miners, and this technique here was really perfected by Cornish miners. And the Cornish were from England. England is the land of druids and elves and dwarfs. And those famous Tommy knockers that came with them. They would hide throughout the mine. They were sometimes mischievous, stealing bits of your lunch, but they were often helpful. You'd hear a little knocking on the wall, and you'd hear that tap and say, "Oh, there's a Tommy knocker warning me to move away from here," and they would scurry off. Or you might notice a little Tommy knocker trail leading you right to the gold vein itself.
I really like that folklore. That's something that's so neat too, that you guys have really kept up with that history with Tommy knockers placed out for people to discover on a tour. Another thing that makes you guys so unique is the hands-on elements for guests. You can chip away at gold while you're down here, right?
You can. We actually give you hammer and chisel, and you'll be able to pull gold ore right off of the vein.
Thank you so much for all of the information, Chris. I had so much fun, and of course the highlight for me was actually chipping away on the gold ore vein.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. It's our pleasure. It's a lot of fun for us too.
For any of you guys that are looking for a really fun experience in the Black Hawk Central City area, Heidi Mine definitely is something that you should put on your radar. Of course, the gold ore mining was one of the highlights. If you're a pro, Chris tells me that some people can get a piece like this off of the gold ore vein, but if you're like me, still beginner, you wimped out a little too soon, you still get a really sweet piece to take home with you. It's been such a fun day here in Black Hawk in Central City. As you can see, there is so much more to do here than just gambling. You're gonna have to come check it out because only you can truly experience Colorado.